Hello friends, and welcome to TurtleQueenGaming, and back to Always Remember Me. We're going to do Hugh's ending, and I'm not going to go through any more hullabaloo about it, so let's just get started. It was early morning, yet I was feeling weak and tired already. I get sick at work a lot. I'm a weakling. I really don't feel well. Amy? It's nothing. I'm still stressed by the recent events. Lawrence held my hand and helped me sit down. Suddenly I heard a familiar voice. Amy, I was wondering, are you all right? Hi, Hugh. It's okay. I just need to rest a bit. You should take the day off. You can't work like this. No, it's fine. Besides, my boss might get angry. No, don't worry about it. I'll explain it to him. You should go on home, Amy. Come on, I'll walk you. Sure, I'll go home. I felt rather touched by their concern, and Hugh's offer to go out of his way to walk me home. I appreciated it too. I wasn't sure if I was up to the long walk by myself. Thank you, Hugh. I'd like that. But I'm just scared the boss won't like it. I'm serious. Don't worry about it. He'll understand. You're under a lot of stress. Come on, Ames. It'll be all right. Let's go. I want to get you home. You look terrible. You need hot chocolate and a bunch of chick flicks. I shook my head, suppressing a half sob, half laugh. Romantic comedy was the last type of movie I wanted to see right now, but the hot chocolate sounded good. I smiled at Hugh and slipped off the stool. That's really nice of you, Hugh. I could use some company. He waited until I'd collected my things, then slipped an arm around my shoulders. We walked out the door and engaged in small talk as he steered me back home. Distraught and tired, I appreciated it. It kept my mind off Aaron, and by the time I was back home, I was laughing at Hugh's dumb jokes. Thanks, Hugh. That made me feel a lot better. Anytime, Amy. Goodbye and good luck. I was sipping hot chocolate when Aunt Gwenda walked in the door. Leaping up, I exclaimed a greeting and hugged her happily. Aunt Gwenda, I'm so glad to see you. Me too, Amy. She hugged me back and then held me away to look at me closely. I knew she was noting the tired bags under my eyes and the strained muscles around my mouth. I turned away, anticipating her next words. Amy, it's really terrible what happened to Aaron. I didn't reply, but walked back to the sofa I'd been sitting on. She followed me and sat next to me, giving me a kind look. How are you coping, dear? I shrugged, sipping more chocolate. Why is everyone pressuring me? That doesn't sound like pressuring. Okay, yeah. I'm fine, Aunt Gwenda. When her expression betrayed hints of skepticism, I raised my voice to insist. Seriously, the doctors have told me everything about Aaron's condition, and it's likely that he'll remember everything soon. Besides, at least he's alive. You have a point, dear. Well, if you're sure you're okay, I guess I'll be going. Going where? You live here. You seem in a hurry. No, I have a doctor's appointment in 20 minutes. She leaned down to... Oh, okay, she's leaving. She leaned down to hug me again, and I reciprocated, careful not to knock over the hot chocolate. She gave me a fond smile and patted my head. Goodbye, Amy. I hope everything turns out okay. I smiled. She was so sweet and always so kind. Thank you, Aunt.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Well, that was random. Good. Good, I guess. Needed to be a thing. Let's see. Creativity.
Oh, no.
Oh, well. When I reached home, I stepped into the kitchen. What should I have for dinner today, I was wondering to myself. I was just about to start making dinner when the phone rang. I picked it up and cradled it with one shoulder, balancing a pot in my other hand. Hello? Who's this? Hi, Amy. I laughed in surprise at his chipper tone. Hello, Hugh. Why are you calling me? Well, I thought you might be tired from walking around most of the day, so I decided to order you a pizza. It should be arriving any second now. Sure enough, the doorbell rang at precisely that moment. That's almost creepy. I really didn't want pizza right now. If I'd wanted it, I would have ordered some myself. Should I lie to him or tell him the truth? Oh no, he was sweet. He tried. Well, wow, thanks, Hugh. I really didn't feel up to making anything, but it didn't even cross my mind to order out. I know it didn't. That's why I did it for you. Go get the door, Ames. You make me want to tell you. Dick. That pizza boy might run away with the merchandise. Bon appetit. I laughed and said goodbye, setting down the phone and pot and hurrying to the door.
Yes!
Meh. I was in Hugh's clothing store. He was busy with some customers, and I was browsing through the different clothing racks. Suddenly, I heard Hugh's voice calling me. Amy? Yes? What is it? You look depressed. You need to have fun. Come to the White Corner pub tonight. The White Corner? Yes, that's where all the happy people are. I wanted to laugh at that, but managed to keep my composure. If you say so. So you'll come? This evening? Yeah, why not? I think I'll come. Great, I'll be there. Guess I'm going to the pub. I arrived at the trendy pub in town about 5 minutes early, to hopefully ensure that I wouldn't keep Hugh waiting. I always try to be punctual, if not early, since it was the polite thing to do. I was rather surprised when I entered the waiting area and saw Hugh standing near the doors looking down at his cell phone. Hey there! He looked up, a bit surprised, as he quickly flipped his phone closed and cast me a cocky grin. You're certainly early. I always try to be on time. I returned his grin with a smile and I walked over to him. The music in the pub was fairly loud and the dance floor was busy, but the ambiance of the pub was energetic and inviting. Did I keep you waiting long? I thought for certain I'd arrive first. Nope, I arrived just a moment ago. Did you have any trouble finding the place? No, I've been here before. I didn't offer any information as to when, and he simply nodded in response. Good, then you should be ready to start swinging right away. I chuckled at his attempt to a joke. Are you asking me to dance? Darn right I am. Don't you like techno? Yeah, no, I don't like techno. No, let's dance. Alright, then I accept. I do like techno dance music. I bet you'd like the drinks here even more. He winked as he took my hand and we hurried over to the dance floor. Perhaps so. I don't know how good of a dancer I will be to this kind of music, though. It's not too hard. Just follow my lead and you'll do fine. At first it was difficult to keep up with him. I stepped on his feet at least once, but to my surprise, he was in a good enough mood not to comment or complain. He was surprisingly graceful and quick on his feet, which made me feel even more dubious as I struggled not to step on his feet again or bumped into anyone else. He seemed very at home in the pub, and thought it was at first difficult to keep up with the fast beat of the music. And though it was difficult, I felt I felt myself starting to come into synchronicity with him, with it, and with him. There. That sentence is done now. Is it really so hard? No, this is actually a lot of fun. This music isn't too hard to dance to after all. He grinned, placed his hands around my waist, and lifted me up briefly, still managing to keep in pace with the tune of the song. What did I tell you? Goober. We were standing very close, and for a moment I thought he would try to kiss me. Hugh, I'm sorry, but it's rather late. I'm getting up bright and early tomorrow, so I'd better get home and head to bed. Oh, I see. A pity. Do you want me to... No, it's fine. I can walk back home on my own. Thanks, though. Good night, Amy. Night, Hugh. It was a lie. I didn't have to work tomorrow. Why did I do it? I was scared to feel something for him.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
While I was walking in the park, I saw a figure waving at me from a distance. It was Hugh, apparently on a walk in the park as well. Amy, how goes? Can I join you? I agreed amiably. I don't know what that means, actually. We trundled along the sidewalk, mostly in silence, feeling unnaturally sluggish under the sun. After a while, Hugh spoke up. Hey, Amy. Yes? I'm terribly sorry, but you owe me a soda. What? From when? I wrinkled my brows, confused. Huh? Why? Because when I looked at you, I dropped mine. I stopped, still, realizing that he just used a pickup line on me. I guess it wasn't supposed to be serious, but... No. I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing. Hugh joined in after a few minutes. I wiped my eyes and grinned. If you were words on a page, you'd be what they call fine print. It's just fucking awful. I just stopped. There. He snickered and retaliated with his own pickup line. If being sexy was a crime, you'd be guilty as charged. There's something wrong with my cell phone. It doesn't have your number in it. How was heaven when you left it? Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? You're so beautiful, I forgot my pickup line. Laughing uncontrollably, we continued home, trading pickup lines the entire way. Wow. Okay. I decided to visit Aaron in the hospital again. Maybe he will remember me today, I thought half-heartedly. I reached the hospital and walked into the building. Enjoying a gust of cold air, I quickly found Aaron's room and stepped inside. To my utter shock, Hugh was there talking to a conscious Aaron. Random? They're not even... Okay. I want to know what they're talking about. I ducked back out the door, checking from the window to see if anybody had noticed. Aaron had. He was looking at the door in slight confusion, but Hugh remained oblivious, prattling away. Curious, I pressed my ear closer to the door and listened. It's just, I know she has a boyfriend and all, but I really like her. And it's not like her boyfriend even appreciates her, though I guess that's not really his fault. I heard Aaron make a muffled reply, but I couldn't decipher what it was. I stepped away from the door and considered what I'd heard. Why is he talking to Aaron about, and he's not doing it in a very, straightforward way. He's literally asking him for advice on what to do about, well, I guess Aaron doesn't know that I'm his girlfriend either. Still, it's just weird. I wanted to laugh. So Hugh was having girl problems? Why would he ask Aaron about them, though? It's not like they were very close friends. Just then, the door swung open and I just barely managed to step out of the way. Hugh stopped short, surprised. Amy? Did you just get here? Yes, I was about to go in. I didn't know you were here. It's so nice of you to visit Aaron. Yeah, well, I gotta get going. Don't let me keep you. See you later. I said goodbye, then watched as he disappeared around the corner. Puzzled, I went inside the room. Aaron squinted at me, and I smiled tentatively. You know Hugh, right? I smiled tremulously. Yes, I do. Did you just remember that? He shook his head, and my hopes fell. No, but he told me about you, and of what happened to me. Oh. I paused, alarmed. But he shouldn't have done that. The doctor said not to pressure you. It might make things worse. I feel better now. Don't worry about it. In any case, I'm sorry I've forgotten everything. He was looking at me so sadly that I decided to change the subject. So anyway, what was Hugh doing here? A small smile spread across his face. Why do you want to know? I shrugged casually, trying not to portray my impending blush, but he saw through it anyway. He laughed croakily. You like him, don't you? Obviously, this is for Hugh's playthrough. Well, no, I don't. I'm your girlfriend. He stopped laughing and considered me carefully. I didn't see any of the love that he usually exuded when looking at me, simply serving to reinforce how Aaron was not the Aaron that I'd fallen in love with. He seemed to be thinking the same thing. Amy, I'm sorry things turned out this way, but I think we both agree that we don't know each other anymore. I nodded slowly, thinking he was right. And it seems to me that there are a lot of other guys out there who would want to be with you more than me. Don't you think you should give them a chance? Unbidden, the tears fell from my eyes, and Aaron smiled at me in consolation. I don't mean it in a cruel way, it's just that I sort of think you should move on. What if you remember me later? Even if I do, things have changed. You can't deny that. I wiped my tears and smiled at him. He was right. He was changed, and I was changed, and it was time to move on. Maybe you're right. Thank you, Aaron. This is a key moment of your story. You realize that no matter what, Aaron won't be the same anymore, and you cannot love him like you did. Oh. From now on, all Aaron-related actions won't be available anymore. However, you can still pursue the other characters. Well. I was on my way home from work when my cell phone started to ring. I looked at it curiously when I saw that it was Hugh, but picked it up with a slight smile. Yes? I drew out the word lightheartedly as I continued walking toward my house. Hey there, pretty lady. Would you like to go to Le Chateau tonight for dinner? Le Chateau? But that place is so expensive. It'd be a nice treat. So is that a yes? Why, though? He paused for a moment, and then he continued, when he continued, he sounded oddly embarrassed. I'll tell you if you come, all right? All right, then. What time? How about 7 o'clock? Sounds good. I'll meet you there. Oh. See you soon. Or see you then. It seems kind of obvious why he'd invite you to the chateau, but hey, whatever. I returned home and kept an eye on the clock as I got dressed in one of my nicer outfits. It wasn't a particularly modest dress, but it was still formal enough to blend in at Le Chateau. I looked quite elegant, and I didn't doubt that he would be rather impressed with the outfit. I left and made my way to the restaurant as the sun started to set, feeling rather eager to arrive. This really sounds like a date. I was still curious about what the occasion was and waved at him when I caught sight of him standing outside. You're looking fine tonight. Thanks, you look pretty good in suit too. Maybe a bit too serious, though. I'll take that as a compliment. So, what's the occasion? Oh, well, I was supposed to come here with another girl, but she didn't show up. Oh, well. Meh. A frown instantly appeared on my face. You mean I'm just a replacement? That isn't very nice. He looked surprised when I scowled at him. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this. I'm gonna have to save and then botch some of these, because I'm going to try to see all the scenes, because I want to make sure that it's cohesive? Coherent? I want to make sure I see all the scenes, so I'm probably gonna load and botch this, just so everybody knows if the thingy's wonky, that's the reason. For some reason, I couldn't get anything to trigger without going overboard on everything. Hey, are you jealous? I'm not. Then why are you so angry? Because it's rude to call me just because your real date didn't show up. I only called you because I thought it would be a waste otherwise. Since the table is reserved for 2, I thought about you first, since we're friends. I felt somewhat diffused by his words, and his use of the term friends did bring me back to reality a bit. Sorry for overreacting. I was just a bit surprised, is all. It's alright. Shall we go in and grab a bite to eat, then? Okay, thanks for thinking of me. No problem. The meal went smoothly, and it was fairly enjoyable. It was nice to be waited on at such an elegant restaurant, and our conversation over the meal was lighthearted. It was only when I walked home alone that my mind started to wander. It really bothered me at first. Maybe I really was jealous. I paused for a moment and looked up at the clear night sky. Maybe I was. I do not know. Oh. That's weird. I was rather surprised when the invitation from Usher came in so suddenly. It's Aaron's dad. That's right. What the hell? His lack of fondness for me was generally very obvious, so hearing his voice on the phone seemed unusual. Hello? Good morning, Amy. I would like you to come to the restaurant, or to a restaurant to meet with me tonight. Oh, sure, I could do that. What restaurant is it? Le Chateau. Please dress properly. It's a very luxurious restaurant. I'll be there at 8 tonight. I'm just getting taken to Le Chateau, like, left and right. I see. Thank you. I'll see you then. Goodbye. He hung up the phone before I had the chance to say a proper goodbye, but I just shook my head and ventured over to my closet to find some suitable clothes. The amount of time that passed before the agreed-upon date seemed interminable. I felt myself growing impatient as the hour grew closer, but I didn't want to arrive too early. I had picked out an elegant dress to wear to the restaurant, and I walked inside about 5 minutes early. When I entered, I quickly saw Usher sitting alone at a table. I waved politely and smiled, determined to make a good impression as I sat down opposite of him. Good evening. It's nice to see you again. Good evening to you as well. Do you mind if I get straight to the point? I want to talk about Aaron. Okay. Is this that dinner that they were talking about and the bad ending? He's been going through a lot with the state of his memories. We may think that things are difficult for us right now, but they're 10 times worse for him. I know. I really do hope he'll be able to get better. I appreciate that. I want my son to be healthy and happy again as soon as possible, even if his memories remain unclear. His words surprised me, but before he could continue, someone who I did not want to see appeared in the doorway. Abigail walked over to the table, looking unusually calm and composed. Hi. She looked at Usher when she spoke. Hello. I'm glad to see you were able to come. Please sit down. Oh, dear. She then turned to me, and to my surprise, smiled slightly. It wasn't a smirk or a look of malice either. Hey there. Hello? I'd like to get right to the point of why we're all here. First of all, I have to confess that I made a mistake. I really do love Aaron, with all of my heart. I never should have broken up with him. It was the most foolish thing I had ever done. I regret it deeply, but at the same time, I'm so grateful to have been blessed with the second chance to be with him again, the way we used to be. That would be true. I mean, that way he doesn't have the feelings of the relationship ending to cloud his rekindling feelings. Her voice was so sincere and heartfelt that I couldn't help but sympathize with her words. I can understand why you don't approve of me, Amy, but I really hope that you'll be able to accept the idea. He means a lot to me, and I mean a lot to him. This is actually why I wanted both of you to come here tonight. I also believe that Abigail is the right person for Aaron. I don't love Aaron anymore, but should I let Usher treat me like that? Maybe that's why that scene number triggered. That makes a lot of sense. Respond politely. Yeah, I mean, I'm moving on. Thank you for explaining it to me like this, Abigail. Well, I'm glad to have gotten the chance. He really is a wonderful person. I understand that, though it's rather sad that Aaron isn't the same person that I loved and who loved me. I felt my eyes start to fill with tears as I explained. I really hope that you can take good care of him, Abigail. He really does care about you. The tears overflowed as I said the words, but I offered them with a small smile and a nod. Thank you so much, Amy. Much to my surprise, Abigail actually came over to give me a brief, comforting hug. I blinked once in surprise and a second time to clear my eyes. Usher heaved a sigh of relief and seemed to relax considerably. Thank you for being understanding, Amy. So, shall we order some dinner? Sure. I sniffled as I replied and lifted up a napkin to dab at my eyes. I knew I had to move on, but it was still bittersweet. The rest of the conversation we had while ordering and eating dinner was fairly casual, mostly about Aaron, but completely free of conflict. I still ate as quickly as I could and left politely. Everything had gone well, and I felt as though it had all been one big step towards really letting go of Aaron. Yeah, I could see that. That was kind of depressing. No.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Oh. I stepped out to the door into the bright sunlight, shading my eyes. I walked as quickly as I could to the mall. In the grocery section, I stopped by a large stand full of greeting cards. I should get Aaron one, I thought. I stepped closer to the display, intent on picking out the sweetest get-well card I could find. Oh, I feel... A small one decorated with sparkly roses caught my eyes, and I was about to pick it up to see the message inside when a hand blacked down on my shoulder. I get the feeling that the scene, I don't know why it wouldn't trigger, or like why I had to fight so hard to get it to trigger, but I get the feeling that this scene is, something or other. Meant for before the hospital scene. That's what I'm trying to think. Startled, I spun around to see Hugh. Oh, hello, Hugh. Hi, Amy, what are you up to? Just trying to pick out a get-well card for Aaron. He nodded seriously, then peered over my shoulder. Oh, hey, I know. Give him this. He reached for a large card with a cartoony drawing on the cover. Flicking it open, he read what was inside, and it was apparently so funny it caused him to laugh. Amy, you have to give him this. This'll keep him in stitches for a week. We both blinked and then had a second laugh at the unintended pun. I looked at the card too, and just as I thought, there was a funny joke inside. Should I follow my gut and pick the romantic card, or Hugh's advice and pick the funny one? Funny card. Well, you have me convinced. This should make him laugh too, right? Yes, I'm sure it will. It was very funny. They just say laughter is the best medicine. I think that might be just what Aaron needs. Something to make him laugh. You're probably right. Come on, I'll buy it for you. My treat. Thanks, Hugh. I put the rose card back in its place and happily followed Hugh to the cash register. After we'd bought the card, Hugh decided that he'd had enough of shopping and decided it was time to go home and make dinner. Okay, bye, Hugh. That was interesting. I don't know. I was in Hugh's clothing store. He was away doing some errands, and I was browsing through the different clothing racks. I just found a little white dress that I'd fallen in love with and was standing in front of a mirror, holding it in front of me to see how I looked, when I heard Hugh's voice. Hello, Amy. I'm back in the shop. Whoa. Hi. What's wrong? Hugh looked dazed. Nothing's wrong, except you're not wearing that dress. I blushed furiously and whipped it away from me. I was about to hang it back and on the stand when Hugh's hand stopped me. I turned to look at him questioningly, and he stared back intensely. Amy, would you let me take you out to dinner? I let my mouth hang open unattractively for a moment before snapping it shut. Surprised, I thought back to the scene in the hospital. Aaron had given me his permission. Please? I've talked to Aaron. He says it's okay, and I really, really want to take you out. I smiled tentatively. I wasn't sure about this, but I had nothing to lose. Besides, I was still feeling pretty flattered by this dress comment. I think I will. He blinked and grinned brilliantly. He took my hand and looked at me earnestly. Thank you. You won't regret it. I promise. I have to go now. See you tonight. I must remember to go to the restaurant this evening. I don't want to miss Hugh's date. Boop. Oh, why is the arrow there then? Well, I guess I better just pass some time, huh? There we go. Oh, no, map. There we go. That worked. Amy, I've seen beautiful women, and then I've seen you. You look stunning. I laughed and twirled a little, showing off my dress. I wore the dress you liked so much. I can see that. He gave me one last admiring look, then led me out to the restaurant's terrace. He pulled out my chair for me as soon as we reached our table, then took a seat himself. I sighed and looked around, glorying in the magnificent sunset that painted everything red. It's so beautiful. Thank you for taking me here, Hugh. It's not nearly as beautiful as you, and I should thank you for letting me. He leaned forward to kiss me, and I happily complied. We stayed that way for a long time, while the sun fell away behind us. It was a beautiful date with Hugh, and the summer is almost over. I wonder what will happen next. Okay, so... Somehow the creativity got up accidentally. I was trying to watch it, but then I didn't, so I'll be right back when I bring it down just a little bit, and we can see the ending. Okay, that should do it. I want to stop playing, but first I want to save. There we go. I adjusted the lacy collar of my dress, turning around with a smile to greet the next customer. Good morning, what can I get for you? I'd like to have a plain chocolate ice cream cone, please. Coming right up. This place is so beautiful now. I was only in here once or twice before the inside was remodeled, but now I come in every day. It looks really lovely. The ice cream is great. Thank you. I remodeled it myself with some help from my boyfriend. Wow, really? That's so cool. Thank you. And here's your ice cream. Thanks. The young lady handed me her money, and I handed her over her change with a smile. Thank you very much for coming so often. We appreciate every single one of our customers. I worked hard for the next few hours until my break. We always had a constant flow of customers coming in to enjoy the beautiful decor of the ice cream parlor and the top quality sweets. We had more than twice as much business as we did before, and now I even own the place. Well, together with Hugh, of course. I stepped outside and waved to my boyfriend Hugh, who waved back and held a snow cone out for me. More sweets? More sweets. You just know you can't resist. You're spoiling me, but thank you. I sat down next to him on the bench and began to lick the snow cone. I hope you don't eat too much while on the job, though. I wouldn't want to need a thinner model for my outfits. I elbowed him lightly, smiling at his joking tone. Ouch, I was only kidding. And so are you. I know that didn't hurt. Fair enough. I'm glad to see you're busy, though. It's all thanks to you, my love. That was cute. And they had an appropriate... Love is a game that two can play and both win. He forgave her. But, that one, at least the story kind of went with, obviously, when you go to the restaurant and, kiss him, so you both kind of accept that. I actually really liked that one. The unlocking all of the scenes was kind of ridiculously hard, but I liked that it involved Aaron and, Amy letting go of him. Why that's not involved with every single one of them, I have no idea. Because you should be able to be like, oh. Because, if you're not pursuing Hugh, you're never going to have that conversation with Aaron. Ever. So, I don't know. I feel like it should include that in it. Let's see. Oh, I can only go this way. My bad. Write a poem? Oh. I guess I can write more poems. So that other poem that popped up last time was a thing. My bad. Inconsistency can be exciting, even if a worry at times. Your unpredictability never ceases to get my heart pounding. It's impossible to forget that you're more than a little out of my control. But there's more than just that reflected in your excited eyes. You're creative and artistic with endless new ideas. You may not always seem the type, but your imagination is like a miracle to witness from dusk till dawn. The connection between us is stronger than I could have hoped. You're always giving me chances with roads I could have never predicted could be mine to walk. And you're always giving me more reasons to hold on tight when I get lost in your strong arms every day and night.
Yes!
I wrote a poem about Hugh. He really deserved it. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if you can write a poem about Eddie and stuff like that. Because I don't think... Yeah, because I didn't worry about my poetry with the other ones. I just worried about like writing in the blog and stuff like that. Creativity was the only reason I was doing that. It's kind of cool though. Good to know. Oh, I know I need to go to bed.
Who's awesome?
That's gonna get the ending.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Good to know. You can write poems. I have no idea. I forgot to... I broke Lawrence's poem. My bad.
Woohoo!
Hugh, shouldn't that layer of lace be a little thicker? I suppose it is a bit too delicate. It doesn't stand out enough, does it? No, I don't think it does, but just a little more and it'll be perfect. Hugh made some adjustments to the pattern he was making, a slight smile appearing on his lips. What's so funny? Hugh? Hey, why's that? You're turning into quite the little professional. I returned his smile with a grin. Thank you. I've been working really hard to make sure everything is perfect. Sometimes I'll spend hours on just one design, though. That's a good thing. You're supposed to put time into each one. Yes, but it seems like people like you come up with such lovely design in minutes. True, but it's your dedication that makes your styles go over so well. I suppose so. Isn't it fun to see people walking around everywhere you look wearing the styles and clothing that you design? Definitely. It's one of my favorite parts of designing clothes. That's good. You're even more of an expert than me now. My face lit up into a wide smile at his compliment. Really? You think so? Of course, you're fantastic. I blushed as he pulled me into his arms. He was seated at his desk and I sat on his lap, comfortable with the closeness. Thank you, Hugh. Hugh put his pens and pencils aside as we kissed. You had to know that she was going to get into the whole clothing design thing. I honestly thought she was going to be his model, but that's cool too. Love is a canvas furnished by nature and embroidered by imagination. Voltaire. I kind of like... Hugh's was, I think, the most consistent storyline. It encompassed everything that I was looking for in relationship development as far as spending time together and then not realizing that you're getting that close to them. And then switching out with Aaron, where both you and Aaron mutually decide that it's maybe good for you not to be together and it's okay for you not to be together. And Aaron knew that they used to date, and that's a good thing because he should know. And then even unlocks that whole dinner conversation with Osher and Abigail, which is good because then you can feel more comfortable about letting him be with Abigail because you can tell that she hopefully changed her ways and wants to be with him and wants him to be happy. So yeah, I'm thinking that Hughes is my favorite ending for Always Remember Me. I mean, Aaron's good. I mean, of course that's the true ending or whatever, but as a whole of stories, Hugh's storyline is more coherent than everything else. It was good. I'm not sure if it was full Steam price good because of how, I mean, it's a stat farmer, you know? I mean, you just increase stats on one person and I don't know, there's not enough storyline to make it worth sitting there for several hours trying to make a scene trigger. Especially since the triggers are not an exact science, like you don't get to 75 relationship and then you see this scene, and at 80 you see this scene. It doesn't do that, and that's really frustrating. Like with Hughes, like there was the get well card was obviously meant to be seen earlier, but it just wouldn't trigger. Like, I had to keep fighting to make it trigger, and that's just silly. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have... You should have to see all the scenes before you get to the end. You should just have to. But... And especially if you can see the scenes out of sync, it just kind of... It messes with the storyline. I don't know. My personal opinion. I don't know what I'll find next. I'm gonna have to find something, but I have a day off coming up, and I'll probably just spend it making episodes of whatever I choose, because I'm very behind, and I apologize thoroughly. But I need all the money I can get, because I was out for a week, as I have stated previously, and I have VisionCon coming up, excuse me, that I'm going to with Low Budget Man. He's going to be releasing his very first comic book, and we're going to share a booth together, and it's going to be amazing. So if you're at VisionCon, please come by and see us. At least I really hope so. Put in the application. Not 100% certain that they accepted it. They took his money, but we haven't heard anything back from them, so I hope we got a booth. It'd be really, really sucky if they took his money and then were like, nah, bruh, that's just that's the application fee for us to check out your booth and see if we want to have you here. Oh my god, if that happened, I'd never go to VisionCon again. That's gotta be like one of the most unprofessional ways of dealing business that I could think of as far as conventions go. That better not happen. So if you don't see us at VisionCon, it's because they're awful. So let's hope that they're not awful, because I like VisionCon, and they're cool people, and I want them to continue being cool people in my mind. Anyway, I have a really cool thing lined up. That's another graphic novels type game called Cinder? Cinder? It's a new take on Cinderella, which is something I wanted to see. I have no idea if it's an actual dating sim or not, or if it's just a graphic novel. I just know that it's interesting. Like, it had really interesting reviews, and from what I just heard about it, I was like, yeah, I want to try that. That might be what I try next. I also have quite a few other games, but... Another thing! I keep thinking of things. My sister showed me this game. I've immediately forgotten the name of it, but it's brand new, and it's a team-based, like, player versus player game that's going to be really good, and I'm really excited about it, but it's going to cost me $60, and I obviously have no money, because VisionCon, and broke. So, I'm going to try really hard to get it, because I want to play it when it comes out with my sister. She also needs $60, so we need $120 just like fall from the sky. It's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna work really hard to get $120 like from somewhere. But I'm really excited for that because I want to do some sort of competition-based game right when it comes out, and it looks amazing. I'll try. By next episode, I'll try to figure out what the name of it is that I'm trying to think of. My god, it's gone. I can't think of it at all. It was like a big thing. But, I don't know. It's just really good. And the theatrical trailer was stupid good. Like, I don't know why they spent so much energy on making this trailer. It has nothing to do with the game. Well, it does have, I mean, it has to do with the storyline of the game, but as far as the gameplay goes, it looks nothing like the gameplay. It's just this really fancy, like, Big Hero-esque type graphic animation, and it's amazing. And they could have just, like, to hell with the game, and just made this entire, like, paid web series or something, or gave it to Netflix, just this whole thing animated, and they could have done a whole story with it. Because it looked so good. I have to find it for you. So next episode of whatever I make, I'll put links in the description to this theatrical trailer to this game. I can't remember what it is. But it's really awesome and you have to see it. Anywho's, now that I'm done rambling about anything else before I can think about anything else to ramble about, until next time, peace out, y'all.